Hey mathematicians, so today we're going to move on to level 2 of solving absolute value inequalities. So you can see this one already looks a lot more complicated. The thing we need to remember is that absolute value lines are just another type of grouping symbol. So you just need to think of them like parentheses. So we're just going to pretend these are parentheses and solve this thing exactly the way we solved it before. So we're going to bring it over here first. Now we're going to write it as if it was parentheses. So 2 parentheses, 3 plus 3x, close the parentheses, plus 3 is less than or equal to 21. Remember, if we got a positive value, we probably have to use a negative value as well. So we're at the same thing, 2 parentheses, 3 plus 3x, close the parentheses, plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 21. Again, you got to use both cases. What do you do when you have a number outside parentheses? You distribute, right? So we're going to do 2 times 3 is 6. Just love these parentheses. 2 times 3x is 6x. Plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 21. Again, you need a piece of paper and a pencil when you do this. Okay, so since this 3 is outside the parentheses, we're going to subtract it. Okay, so now there's nothing over here. We can drop the parentheses. So 6 plus 6x is greater than or equal to negative 24. So the 6 is positive, so subtract 6. All this stuff is just solving equations by undoing. Same thing you've been doing for years. So 6x is now greater than or equal to negative 30, which means if we divide by 6, x is greater than or equal to negative 5. Okay, we're not sure if this is going to be and or. There's no negatives here. Looking at this, we're pretty sure it's going to be and. Okay, because it's greater than the negative. So over on this side, again, same thing, 6 plus 6x plus 3 less than or equal to 21. We're going to do the same steps we just did. Subtract 3 minus 6, divide by 6. So subtract 3. We're just going to get different numbers because the 21 is positive, not negative. So now we have 6 plus 6x is less than or equal to 18. Subtract our 6 again. So 6x is less than or equal to 12. And again, we don't want 6x, we just want 1x, so we'll divide that by 6. And now we know that x has got to be less than or equal to 2. Okay, so this is and, which means we can write it as one inequality, right? We can write it like this. Anytime it's less than the positive and greater than the negative, put x in the middle with your inequality signs, put the smaller number to the left, larger number to the right. Okay, these are closed circles because there's a line under it. So closed circle at 2 and negative 5, and then we're just connecting them. Okay, if you see one section on the graph, you can write that as one inequality. Okay, one more, probably a little more complicated. Again, a lot of negatives, a lot of things happening here. It will be okay. Again, absolute value sign is a grouping symbol. And when we got a negative 4, it's okay. We got a negative x on the inside as well. Just remember when you divide by a negative that you flip the inequality sign if you do that. So write the inequality with a parenthesis instead of an absolute value sign. And then write the other case over here. Flip the inequality sign, because now we got positive 10. This was a negative out here, so now we switch to positive. So we're not sure what's actually going to happen here, whether or not it's going to be and or until we're done. That's okay. Distribute. So the negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. Negative 4 times negative x is plus x, plus 4x, sorry. Minus 6 is still on the outside. Okay. So again, since minus 6 is out there, we're going to add 6. Now that this is gone, all we have is what was in the parentheses, so we can drop the parentheses. So we get negative 16 plus 4x is less than or equal to 16. Since this 16 is negative, we're going to add 16. Which means 4x is less than or equal to 32. We don't want 4x's, we just want 1x. So we're going to divide by 4 since it's multiplied. Which means that x is less than or equal to positive 8. Now we see that if it's less than or equal to positive 8, we're thinking that it might be an intersection. We'll see how this one turns out. So we get the same thing, right? We get negative 16 plus 4x minus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 10. So we add 6. We're going to solve this exactly the same way we just solved this one. We're going to add 6, add 16, and divide by 4. None of that changes. Since we start with a different number, though, we're going to get a different number when we're done. We add our 16. So 4x is greater than or equal to positive 12. Divide by 4. X is greater than or equal to 3. So x is less than the larger number, greater than the smaller number, so this is an intersection. So again, we can just write it down as one inequality. Smaller number is 3, bigger number is 8. So lines under them, so they're closed in circles at 3 and 8. The line connecting between. So the only thing we need to remember here is that the absolute value signs count as grouping symbols. So when you write your two equations, you're writing them down as parentheses. Okay? You're still doing the same thing. You write two cases, flip the signs when you flip the sign of the number, and then solve it like normal.